So thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day. So my name is Kristen Gilbert, and I work at NIST as a Human Resources Specialist. I have worked at NIST for about 14 years, always in our HR office. Before working at NIST, I worked at NIH and a few other companies. So I realized that human resources was the field for me while I was working at Nordstrom through college. And while I really enjoyed working in retail and clothes and meeting new people, I learned that sales was not my forte. Instead, I learned that I still like to be involved with people and just dealing with people on an employment level. Um, so at NIST, I've held a few different roles in our HR office. So I started out working on our staffing team, which what's involved there is helping NIST to fill positions and staff different roles throughout the organization. I've also worked in recruitment and been involved with attending different job fairs, trying to promote and recruit underrepresented groups. I've also worked as our reasonable accommodation coordinator. And so that involves working with employees that have disabilities and helping them to find accommodations that will enable them to perform the essential functions of their job. And then for the past couple of years, I have worked on our employee and labor relations team. And that job, what's involved in that role is that I mostly work with managers and supervisors and helping them deal with controversial, complex employee issues. So whether that is a performance concern that they're having with their employee, maybe a conduct issue such as time and attendance, harassment, it could be like different harassment issues, workplace violence. So a number of, more of the complex personal issues that go on. So I work a lot directly with management in that role. But I also work with employees. So employees can still come to me if they have concerns or come to someone in our office if they have concerns about an employment matter that they have going on. But we're not sort of an employee advocate group. We're more of a management support. And so in that role, so I'm on our employee relations team. I also work as our performance management program manager. So I oversee the NIST alternative personnel management system. So at the end of the performance cycle, when you receive your increase and your bonus, I sort of oversee that entire process. So out of all the roles that I've had at NIST, I really like the current role that I'm in right now, working in employee relations and performance management. I really like what I do, and I enjoy working with the people on my team. And I really feel like that I'm contributing and helping the agency. So part of the reason why I would like to join Toastmasters professionally from a professional level is that in my job, I have to do quite a bit of public speaking. I do a lot of, as I mentioned, working with managers and helping to advise them on if there are different employee issues that they're dealing with. But I also, on a regular basis, give trainings and briefings to staff and managers on different HR issues. So whether it's employee relations or performance management, I do give those briefings, multiple times throughout the year. And although I do this quite frequently, and I've been doing it for a number of years, I still don't feel quite at ease when I'm doing it, and I don't feel completely confident while I'm doing it. So I'm hoping that Toastmasters will help me to sort of improve my communication skills and help improve my confidence when I'm giving these speeches or working with managers or just giving briefings and communicating with others. So that's a little bit about me professionally. Personally, a little bit about me personally. I've lived in Maryland most of my life. I come from a family with a lot of federal government employees, and I decided to follow suit. For my undergraduate degree, I majored in marketing, And then I obtained a master's in human resources after I kind of discovered that HR was the field that I wanted to be in. I'm married and I have 3 kids. So my kids are 9, 7, my middle one just turned 7 today. His birthday is today. And I have an almost 1-year-old. So she was born July 17th last year. So that made the pandemic very interesting for me, having 2 kids at home during virtual learning and then also expecting a 3rd child. So it was a very, very interesting time for me. But we've gotten through it, and here we are now, sort of at the end of the pandemic. I have a very large, sweet dog. I love running. I try to run almost every day or a couple of days, at least 5 days a week. I really enjoy that. And I love yoga and a lot of things with fitness. However, I'm not coordinated or good at sports at all. And I enjoy learning about nutrition and health. And personally, I'm hoping that Toastmasters will just help me become a more confident and a better communicator in my relationships and help me be a better role model for my kids. So thank you very much for the opportunity to speak today, and I'm looking forward to working with all of you.
Thank you, Kristen, for your wonderful icebreaker speech. Congratulations on completing your first speech in the Toastmasters Club, and we're looking forward to many, many more speeches. I think you're a natural speaker, so you did a really good job. I want to start off by saying that, you looked comfortable. We couldn't tell that this was your icebreaker speech, because you looked so comfortable when you were delivering the speech and how you spoke and how you delivered the speech as well. When I gave my icebreaker speech, I was like shaking on the inside and so nervous, and I could almost hear myself stuttering because of how nervous I was. But you did a really good job, and you were able to control that. So if you were nervous and if you were shaking on the inside, we couldn't tell. So you did a really good job of maintaining that. So I wanted to say that your speech was very interesting. We learned a lot about you in the 4 to 6 minutes that you had for your speech. You gave us a lot of background about your work life, your career, your experience, but then you also gave us a lot of information about your personal background, your personal life, and your personal situation as well, and then how both of those different sort of tracks, both professional and personal, led you towards joining Toastmasters. So it was very interesting to hear your background in customer sort of facing jobs, starting at Nordstrom. And how you learned from that experience, and then how it drove you to becoming interested in HR practices. And then it was also very interesting to me to hear how you're involved in working with or trying to help out underserved populations and get them into careers. And then how you're engaged with the employee relations team. I'm also on the employee relations team at my organization, and I think it's a huge component of a healthy organization is to have sort of a translator between what the employees need versus what the management is asking of those employees. And I think that's an important role that employee relations take. Also good to know that you do performance management. So, when I don't get my bonus from my manager that I think I deserve, I might have to shoot you an email, but I'm playing. I'm not going to do that. But it's very good to know, to know that you're so involved on this campus and in some of the things that we interact with as well. Very interested, and I think you did a great job of explaining about your personal life as well. Happy birthday. Share happy birthday to your child today. That's awesome, and congratulations on sort of the new addition to your family that occurred through this pandemic. And that's a whole bundle of joy that's brought to such a strenuous time. And kudos to you for being able to juggle all of that. So in an evaluation, we have to give both positive feedback and also constructive criticism. So I think you did a really, really, really good job. But I did want to highlight some things that I think could help you improve your speech in the future. One being that it sort of felt like the professional track and the personal track were a little disjointed, and so you just stopped the professional one and then moved into the personal one, and it sort of wasn't, I guess, evenly distributed. That's sort of I like even distribute things. But I think one way that you could improve it is by sort of intertwining both of those tracks through the entirety of the speech, or maybe even opening your speech with starting about your personal background and using that to then feed into and transition into the professional background. So just, I guess, more on the formatting side of the speech, you can think about how you sort of blend the two personal and professional lives because it's always blended. Because they both ended up neatly with ways in which you were in sort of ways in which you were encouraged or ways in which you were inspired to join Toastmasters because of those different experiences. So great job. I think you did an amazing job presenting your icebreaker speech. It's definitely the scariest speech, but it gets easier. I promise you from here on out. The rest of the speeches will be very smooth, and you'll be able to knock them out easily. And I will say we are very, very much looking forward to more speeches of yours. And hopefully I'll be able to evaluate your speeches again just to see how you continue to grow throughout this program. And hopefully joining Toastmasters will help you accomplish some of the things that you listed throughout your speech, such as improving your communication skills, both professionally and in your personal relationships, and then helping build some of your confidence when you're doing some public speaking engagements, which are both present in your personal and professional lives. So thank you very much for your speech, and we're looking forward to many more. Thank you.